So this is very true, actually. So the Honor CEO George told CNBC in an interview last week that there were still a lot of challenges with foldable devices, particularly surrounding battery life, the weight of the devices, and their high cost. Honor Magic Honor's Magic 5s is priced at over $1,600, which is not surprising because we see that same price tag on a lot of affordable phones. Obviously, the Z Fold 5 is going to most likely be in a ballpark range of $1,800. Then we saw the same concept applied to the Google Pixel Fold. That's probably going to be in the price tag range of $1,800. And then the Surface Duo 3, which will probably be in the price tag range of, you guessed it, $1,800. But the push from electronic players to launch foldable phones comes from the desire for these brands to make inroads into the premium end of the smartphone market, which Samsung and Apple heavily dominate. High-end smartphones, though, those that cost over $1,800, accounted for 18% of the total handset market in the 2022, up from 11% in 2020. As I see foldable phones, they are more connected to an attempt improving brand image through showcasing innovation than selling large volumes. Analyst at Canley's told CNBC via email. The wow factor may have worn off for consumers now that Samsung has had folding smartphones on the market for a few years, according to Bajor, who said that ultimately a lower price will be needed for rivals to compete with the South Korean electronic giant. The foldable phone is no longer surprising and unexpected, and a big part of the reason why Samsung's big marketing investments that has normalized the form factor, the analyst said. He added the revolutionizing foldables will be close to impossible moving forward. Development will be more about gradual evolution and lowering price points. Lowering price points will particularly be key for vendors out there to challenge Samsung dominance. And I've said this many times, and we saw this with the Galaxy Z Fold 5, how it's now rumored to be pretty much exactly the same as the Z Fold 4. The cameras will be exactly the same as the Galaxy S23 Plus. And it's not really going to be any different than what we can expect of what we have currently. A lot of people were disappointed about that whole entire factor, that we're not seeing this huge improvement with the Galaxy Z Fold 5, but there's not much more they can add to these foldable devices. I mean, you got to think, when we went from the Galaxy Z Fold 2 to the Galaxy Z Fold 3, you had a S Pen support, you had a better inside screen, you had waterproofness, you had NFC, you had wireless charging. Like, there's so many things have added over the years that there's not much more they can add. I mean, the Galaxy Z Flip 5 is going to have a bigger outside display, and after they do that and they improve the crease, there's nothing really they can add to make you want to buy the next phone. And now Samsung has the, Plus that most people will be buying Samsung just because they're Samsung. But if you're not Samsung, I've said this before with the Google Pixel Fold, and why I think the Google Pixel Fold will probably fail is because you need to have some kind of it factor that makes you, actually want people to go and buy your device. And unless you have a specialized feature, you're going to kind of fall in the same ballpark range of every other smartphone out there that's foldable, where it's kind of like a gimmick. And it doesn't have, everyone's trying to be like Samsung, right? Everyone's trying to copy Samsung. But if you can't, then you're going to be in the boat that you're just a wannabe Samsung. I said this before about the Surface Duo 3, where if Microsoft wants to be in any way competable, they're going to have to, give us what they talked about before, which is their own specialized app store that lets you be able to, only have optimized apps for your Surface Duo 3. And then maybe they can kind of stand out. Like, oh, listen, we actually care about, doing this whole concept of making the Surface Duo 3 special because you have your own app store that's dedicated to it. They have to do something because at this point, unless they want to just take huge losses, which to be honest, after learning how much the Surface Duo, the Galaxy Z Fold 4 cost, Samsung, oh my god, it costs them almost as much as they sell it for. Like, it costs a lot of money for Samsung to make Galaxy Z Fold 4s. And because of that, they cannot sell it for cheaper. They do sell for cheaper, a couple months after it came out, and there's always deals going on. But at the same time, that's because they're just trying to get the phone out there. So, these companies that aren't Samsung, how are they going to do this? How are they going to be able to, sell these phones for dirt cheap when they have to compete with so many other players? In reality, it's almost impossible. This is why, we see monopolies, like I've said many times with Samsung, where when you see monopolies in the game who really control the market of foldable phones or whatever, it's hard to go against them because they sometimes take losses because they take so many W's that some losses aren't really that bad. So it's a weird market to be in, right? And what we're going to see is 37 different foldable smartphones this year. Let that sink in, guys. There's going to be 37 brand new foldable cell phones this year. And you might actually learn about 4 of them. That's what's so crazy is that there's so many companies trying and it's just almost impossible to connect or go against Samsung. Now, we have seen Oppo come out with their foldable phones coming out at like $1,100, $1,200. And that really is the only way you can compete with Samsung at this moment is if you release a foldable cell phone for like $1,200, $1,300 and you kind of base it on the fact that, listen, we're not Samsung, but we're cheaper and we're going to give you a phone that's affordable. That's the only real way you're going to compete with Samsung because Samsung, again, like I said, with them controlling the market, with them being able to really do whatever they want, there's not much a smaller company, let alone even Honor or other companies, to be able to really take control of this market because this market is really dominated by Samsung. So I'm definitely interested to see, and the only way we're going to see a huge change, a humongous change, is if someone like Apple were to join this space, which I still am hesitant to think if Apple would join this space at this moment. I mean, it's not like this is clearly not a gimmick, right? We've clearly gotten to a point now where, the idea of foldable phones being a gimmick or just flashy or just, something to talk about but nothing special, I think we're, as a community, is past that point. But we're still to a point where it's like, if Apple joins, they might just not be interested. So I definitely am interested to hear your thoughts and opinions, guys, on what you guys are thinking about this whole entire idea and concept. Are you for this or against? Oh, my bad. What is it against? Would you pick up a foldable phone yourself? You do not own one at this moment in time. Would you pick up one if you, for example, had some, disposable money at this moment in time? I think a lot of people, for the majority of the community, I think, who aren't already a foldable phone expert or into foldable phones, I think a lot of people would say no at this point. Because, again, like I said, it's just way too much money, not worth it for a lot of people. And I know by 2025, they're expecting this to be, the new norm to have a foldable phone. I think we're far, far, far away from that. And I don't think we're getting any closer anytime soon. That's my personal opinion, but I definitely want to hear your opinions down below. See you guys next one. Peace.